What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Server Error 405. This is the Final Four sports program. And like always, I cannot do this by myself. I have these three very, very knowledgeable sports almanacs, just walk-in almanacs here. And we'll go first up. We got my boy, Dre. What's good, Dre?
Yeah, what up, man? Bouncing back, vision loss, but we still here.
There you go. You had that John Cena thing. You can't see me. You couldn't see anything for a good minute. So I'm glad. Happy you're here. Happy you're here. Uh, next next up, we got the man who's wearing the dirtiest hat I've ever seen on a sports podcast. We got we got Dior. What's good, buddy? Maybe that's the
Is
style.
my
I don't know.
is it dirty?
The bill looks pretty dirty. Maybe
Man,
it's the style.
dry clean that hat.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm an old guy. Maybe that's just
It's
how the kids are
black.
wearing
I
it
don't know how
today.
the fuck you can see dirt. It's black.
Your shirt, jersey, or whatever you're wearing is black. That looks black. The bill looks whatever. We could talk. We could have a separate podcast about the bill of your hat. But
Not
anyway,
the bill of the hat. I just turn it around.
there
Let
you
me,
go.
let me hide the bald spot. There you
All
go.
right, now we go. Oh, we don't want to do that again. We don't want to have that happen again. I'm still saving that.
That short was hilarious.
That was great. All right, and finally, of course, we have my favorite human now because he's wearing that Laker jersey, but also my partner in our podcast, the King of Queens conversation. We got Sonic's worst nightmare, Shawn Pittman. What's good, Shawn?
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here. My first time on the Final Four podcast, being the fourth one of this group. Finally, I got nothing.
There you go. Well, that works. All right, so this is a little different episode. We're starting a series of goats. And I know in Pittman and Newfoundland, they have a lot of goats out there, but we're going to do a little, different this.
Wrong on several things.
They got a lot of stuff out there. But we're going to go different goats in different positions and different sports. So that's what's going to make it really fun. Today, we're going to start off with our NFL GOAT running backs, top 5 all time. I think this is, for me, one is very clear, but we'll see what the other gentlemen say. I'll do mine last. I'm going off the top, but actually, I'll say this: my top 3 is pretty set. 4 and 5 could be moved around. They're very debatable for 4 and 5, but 3, I got a solid 3 that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to start with the guy who's brand new here. We're going to break you in early, who just was rushing on his cardboard little cereal box that he ripped off of to give us a top 5. I was close. I knew it was something store-bought related. Pittman, who you got? What's your top 5?
All right, so first of all, I got to give a shout out to Dre for his jersey representing my country, Vancouver. I'm not from BC, but Canada, so appreciate the jersey.
That's my video.
Are we going 5-1 or 1-5?
Ladies' choice.
I will go 5-1 to build up anticipation.
Yeah,
because five I was going to save because I have kind of a reason why I'm going this. So I've started liking football in like 2003. So a lot of the old guys. So I looked up some stats. I figured out who I'd like to have 1-5. But I'm going to go with a little bit off the book modern day pick because I think in most sports when we talk about GOATs, the level of competition is better than it was in the past. Equipment is better. Guys are bigger. Guys are faster. They're healthier in a way. Their conditioning is a lot better than it was in the past with the equipment they have, the coaching they have, the guys they learned from the past. So I'm going to go for number 5 with a more modern, not as modern. It's probably like, since I said I started watching in 03, I was thinking Derrick Henry, but I don't have him there yet. So I'm picking, and if I could, and if he didn't get injured all the time, I'm a big Carolina Panthers fan. So McCaffrey, but he's not close. He had 1 or 2 good seasons, too many injuries. I just had to give him a shout out. My number 5 is a pick I will choose all day, Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
He's an MVP, which is rare for a running back, especially nowadays. And it was rookie of the year too, right? He got 296 yards in his rookie season. So, or 296.
It's a game record.
Yeah. Game, yeah, in the game, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So I mean, I figured if I want to go modern, I'll probably go. He's probably the best option. So he's my number 5.
Okay.
Nice pick. Nice
All
pick.
right. So do you guys want to just everyone's 5 and then just kind of go around that way?
That's
That could
cool.
work.
We
I'm
can do
cool
that.
with
That's
that,
kind of
yeah.
cool.
All right, Dior, since you were studying just like Pittman right before we got on the air, who's your number 5?
My number 5 goes to a guy. Okay. My number
Here's a
5
guy.
is going to go to a guy who a lot of people could actually put at number 1. And I have a reason why I put him at number 5. And I don't give a fuck how many rings he has, how many Pro Bowl selections. I think that he's overrated. My number 5 goes to Emmitt Smith because, and the reason I say that, and it's also halfway a hot take because saying Emmitt Smith is overrated, like to some people, they'll flip wigs. But number one, he played in a system that historically favored running backs. He had a strong line. A lot of play action involved in that offense. Like the rules at that time period really, they really favored running backs. And then the defenses were a lot less sophisticated. And honestly, if you look back at his career in the playoffs, he really wasn't dominant. He had some dominance, but he wasn't that dominant in the playoffs. So for that, not saying he's not a GOAT, he's definitely top 5, but he's at number 5 for me.
Yeah. And it's not a hot take for me. You'll hear why in my picks, but I 100% agree with you, especially with the offensive line. The offensive line, if you put other running backs behind that offensive line, oh my goodness.
Yeah. And the Cowboys have been like that for a long time. I mean, look at DeMarco Murray. He was awesome in Dallas and came to Philly and he sucked eggs. So it's really about, it's about who you have at the end of that front line. And honestly, that's why, that's how I feel like he's number 5. He's great, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dre, who you got?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm actually gonna agree because that was my 5th pick because I can't put him number 1 because Jim Brown is obviously whoever. But Emmitt Smith played in that system where they just gave him the rock and they fed him. Like he was getting his bread. He was getting his bread every single week. So like you knew he was gonna get up there in yards one day. And if I'm not mistaken, he's like what, the leader of rushing yards all time?
Yeah.
I think so. I think he broke.
He broke.
Walter
I can't
Payton.
remember who. Yeah, it might have been Walter Payton's record, but like you can't like not put him there because like he did ball. You can't say he's overrated. I hate the Cowboys with a burn. I hate the Cowboys with a burning passion, 100%. But Emmitt Smith has to fall to 5. He can't be anywhere higher than that.
Fun fact: when I was at Fanatics Fest, I had my Eagles gear on. I saw Emmitt Smith walk by. And I got to say, "Yo, Emmett." He looked back at me, and I'm like, "Go Birds!" Walked away.
Good, nice. All right, so like I said, my 4 and 5 are interchangeable. I will say this, and I'll probably have the hottest take here. I don't think Emmett's top 5. He's not in my top 5.
Ooh,
he's top 10, and like I said, 4 and 5 could be interchangeable. You maybe you can make a case, like he's 6 or whatever it is.
Joey is rolling over in his grave right now.
Wherever he is.
Wherever he is.
Yeah, wherever exactly, wherever that guy is.
But
Pete. Like I said,
God got him.
Yeah, hopefully. Like I said, 4 and 5 could be interchangeable. For right now, for me, I'm gonna say number 5 is Jerome Bettis. I think Jerome Bettis, I'm not saying that he's like, I guess I could say he is better than Emmett in a sense where a guy his size being able to move around like he did behind that line in Pittsburgh and just dominate games. Like I've watched him when he played against the Broncos. He's had some really great games, in Pittsburgh. I just think because of his size and because of how many yards he put up, because he's one of the top leaders in rushing. I think he might be like 8 or something like that, maybe higher. I just think that he was just an all-around great running back. It's like Pittman. Just imagine Pittman coming at you and he gets 200 yards, in a game. And that's how are you going to stop that? Battering around Jerome Bettis. I just remember Chris Berman used to always the bus. He was good. So I'm going to put him at 5. That's 5 for me. So Pittman, we're back around to you. What you got it for?
So, just to piggyback off you, I don't think it'll ever happen. I piggyback you, but Jerome Bettis is the GOAT of signatures, though autographs. maybe in all of sports.
Really?
If you
Why?
ever look at it, he has the most. I collect. I got football helmets with autographs. I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm not even like Jerome Bettis is good. I want his autograph helmet just because his autograph is immaculate and beautiful. Anyway,
he just has a great signature. Is that what it is?
And that's just
Oh,
like a
it's-
little
it-
notable
like-
thing to note about Jerome Bettis is his
Yeah.
penmanship. Is
Google it.
Penmanship.
Google it. That
Oh,
signature
I'm
is.
fascinated.
In
I'm gonna
addition
look
to
for
be
sure.
one of the most prolific runners of all time, his penmanship.
Bro, it's the
I
little
lost-
things in life, bro. It's the little things
Yeah.
we admire,
I
bro.
lust
So-
after that signature. I lust after it. That's how good it is.
Wow.
Number 4. I'm gonna get heat for this, I guess, because I heard Dre make a comment. And you guys agree, but I looked up some stats. I'm a numbers guy, and I guess I'll probably get heat because I'm a numbers guy. And this guy did have amazing numbers, but he did leave a little earlier than most of the other guys when he retired.
No.
So I do have Jim Brown
What?
at number 4.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to say somebody else. But
I thought you were going to say somebody else too.
Jim Brown
I
at
do
4.
too.
Jim Brown at 4. He had 3 MVPs. That is a little iffy for me to have him at 4 because 3 MVPs is pretty impressive for a running back. Although, again, you think about eras and time. Would he have gotten 3 MVPs if he played now? Because running backs don't get MVP anymore, apparently.
But what about getting it then?
I mean, it's impressive.
I feel like getting it then was easier than getting it now.
That's my argument.
I
don't know, dude.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know about that one.
Did you see what like Saquon did last year? Did you see what Derrick Henry did some of previous years? They didn't give it to them, and these guys took over, like made their teams. So I don't know.
Jim Brown did too.
McCaffrey, and again, I know it's McCaffrey, but he did have one season where he went 1,000 and 1,000.
Yeah, Jim
McCaffrey.
Brown did, but he got adoration for it. He got the title.
Right. So it should like,
and that's what I'm saying. Like
different.
back then, it seemed like okay, that's all you had to do. Now it seems like you have to be like one of the greatest of all time to win it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like it's impossible. It's almost impossible. Like the guys, like you said, Derrick Henry had an amazing season. Saquon this season, and these guys aren't getting MVP anymore because they just keep giving it
because they have to give it to a quarterback. They have to.
It's.
I don't know. That's a kind of a spicy take.
Put it this way: if Walter
What do you mean? Saquon had the greatest rushing season ever.
If Jim Brown was playing today, would he be able to win the MVP?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
if Saquon had the greatest rushing season ever and never got it, but this guy got 3 back in the day.
See, I think it's different with I think it's different with football though, bro, because like I know that we've had this argument like on the show before about like Bill Russell. You know, we've talked about him a lot. Like he has so many championships, but he played with
I miss Bray.
Every guy he went against looked like me and Shawn. You know, it just and there was like I think there was like 12 teams in the league, whatever it was. Like there was zero competition. So that's one thing. But we're talking about NFL. Like the players in NFL. Even during that time, the 60s and 70s and 80s, and like they were all good. They were all like strong. So, I mean, are we just now saying like, hey, could Jim Brown do it now? Could Saquon do it then? Like, is that the argument now to determine if someone's good in NFL football?
That's the hardest argument in the GOAT argument of all time. Like, that's why the GOAT argument is so hard to make because of the different eras.
The different eras and times. I mean, you could honestly, to me, when I was doing my list for both wide receiver and running back, it felt like I need to separate certain eras because like there needs to be a GOAT of each era rather than a GOAT of all time, because it's just a different game. These guys were playing with leather helmets in a certain era.
Yeah, that's a long time ago though.
And
that's
then,
a little bit different.
But the protection rules too, like guys are a lot more protected. Back in the 70s, they'll rip your head off and then there's not a penalty.
Yeah,
now
no flag,
you
could
look
give
at them the wrong way
on purpose and it could be fine.
I mean, look, you know, remember Richard Dent used to just throw himself out like a missile. You know what I mean? Like just hit guys. They had to change the rules. Like the game is a little softer now. So you can actually make a case. You can make a case saying like guys in the NFL couldn't even last in the 80s or 90s. No. You know what I mean?
I wish Tom Brady would try to be a quarterback in the fucking like 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like, no, these guys were getting murdered, you know. And I mean, even like there are some players like who were pretty dirty and physical, like in the new era. Ndamukong Suh comes to mind immediately.
Cam Chancellor in the 80s would have been nasty.
Yeah.
Him, Ryan Clark. Oh shit.
Yeah. So these guys are, you know, so it's hard to really kind of say it like Pittman said, but yeah,
You also got to work in physicality too. Like a guy that's a different size now plays a different style of game. And if he played in the '80s, he would be also playing a different. Like I don't want to switch gears on sports, but like LeBron and a guy his size in the '90s, he would have been a completely different player because they
would
would
have center.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be no.
Yeah, he either would have been like a center. He would have been like a Larry Johnson, honestly.
Yeah,
and
no
honestly, to that point, if you look back, besides like Barry, like you didn't really see a whole lot of small running backs. And Barry wasn't even small per se; he was just short.
He ran low too. He ran low.
Yeah, wasn't Barry? Barry had what was Barry like 5'9", 5'10"?
I mean, he wasn't.
Yeah, but you still remember like LT was small too, though.
But LT's a different era.
Small.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we just talking '90s? Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like LT's a different. LT is more new. So then you start getting your like Brian Westbrooks and your LTs and your Adrian Petersons and your Darren Sproleses and people like that. But back in the day, 80s and 90s, these dudes were pretty big, tall at least.
Okay, so now let's go to Dior, number 4.
Yeah, you know what? I have down here that I completely agree with Pittman. Jim Brown is my number 4 as well. Which was, as soon as he said that, I'm like, wow, insane. But yeah, I mean, you look at it and yeah, he did have those MVPs, but like, to the point we were just making, different time, different place. If those MVPs were to happen, like with a more recent player, he would probably be bumped up a few spots. But number 4, Jim Brown for me.
All right, Dre, who you got?
So this is where mine is interchangeable as well, just like you said earlier. So my 4, it's a toss up between two people. It's Marcus Allen from the Raiders or O.J. Simpson. Those are my toss-ups. Those are my interchangeable.
White women at home, cover your ears.
Those are my interchangeable at 4. Like Marcus Allen literally was the Raiders in the '80s, bro. I don't give a fuck about Ken Stabler, Steve Lark. No, I don't care about none of them. Marcus Allen was the Raiders in the '80s, and O.J. Simpson got a fucking MVP with Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like
OJ was, you look at OJ and he's like
OJ was
one
OJ.
of those guys. Yeah. He got eclipsed by his drama.
That's the only bad part that happened, bro. He could have had an Adrian Peterson like career or a Frank Gore like career, but got tied up in bullshit. But other than that, those are
I forgot about Frank Gore.
Yeah, I can't name Frank Gore
on my list
because of the other 3 in front of him. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
But the best Dave Chappelle joke ever is an O.J. Simpson joke.
He's fucking OJ.
No, I love the one where she's like, "How could you shake hands with that murderer?" And he's like, "Sharon, with all due respect, that murderer." I love that joke. So it's my favorite Chappelle joke. Easy.
I love that.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
That's what we need to do, even though it's a sports thing, a comedy goat thing. That's it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we can do that too. Yeah.
I even go as far as saying this is a very spicy take. OJ didn't do it.
Me too. I say shit too
because there's a lot of shit too. There's a lot of evidence out there that says that he didn't.
I think that he was involved, but I don't think he did it.
I think it was his son, personally.
So there's a hot take there.
I just bought a Bronco Sport, and I looked in the glove compartment, no isotoner. So I texted my salesman. I'm like, "Where's my isotoners, bro?"
It's supposed to come with gloves and an isotoner. Damn it. Bro was like, the glove don't fit.
Yeah. I bought the Sport, so maybe if I bought the main Bronco, I would have got the free glove.
He said, "My carpal tunnel's acting up. I don't know why."
All right, so my number 4, part of the interchangeable. I don't have OJ in my top 5, unfortunately. I was thinking about it, but and I totally agree with you, Dre. The fucking Raiders without Marcus Allen, holy cow, they would have 0 wins because he put them on his back. But my number 4 is Eric Dickerson.
That's a respectable one. I was going to do that one too, but
I mean, that was the record that Saquon was chasing. So
I feel like without him, it's kind of the same thing with the Raiders. Without him, the Rams wouldn't have been shit. They just had Jim Everett and Willie Flipper Anderson at one point. But
Willie Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
I just think that Dickerson was kind of like for me, since I'm an old head, growing up, he was like that dude, especially living in Los Angeles, at the time and growing up, I just thought the guy was just great. You know what I mean? Like he was very fast. He kind of had that not like Eddie George build. Well, I guess kind of like Eddie George, where it's kind of like tall, like just a long player. Just
that's a name right there, underrated as fuck.
Yeah,
Very underrated.
he's
Very
just
underrated.
find ways to just find holes just to get through. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but he also could finesse too. Like he was strong too. Like Eric Dickerson, literally, like Adrian Peterson is like a modern version of Eric Dickerson. Like if you wanted to say that, so that's why like Pittman's take
Very,
wasn't
very.
bad either. It's like literally Eric Dickerson 20 years later.
Yeah.
Okay. My son's over here destroying.
Shouts out to the
stuff.
Eddie George. I mean, Eddie George is like very underrated.
Oh, very underrated.
And I actually played for the team that he played Pop Warner for, because he's from this area. So
Dude, wasn't Eddie George on Madden? Wasn't he on the Madden cover?
Yeah, he was. I forgot which one it was.
2002, 2001.
Yeah, I played for the Abington Raiders. He played for the Abington Raiders.
Oh, you played for Abington? Oh shit. Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, Pittman, who you got? Number 3.
Sure, I was muted because I'm outside in the wind. Number 3, you guys already talked about him at number 5. Some of you don't even have him in your top 5, but I went with Emmitt Smith for my number 3. He was on Little Giants.
It's good enough.
He was the Little Giants. That's why I picked him.
I don't know about you guys in the warmer states there, but maybe Dior and Philly and me up in Canada. We had starter jackets, those starter winter jackets.
That was the best jackets in the 90s.
Dude, I just bought one.
Oh, you did? Yeah, they're back. I want one again. It came with a
free.
I had a Montreal Canadian one, obviously. It came with a free Emmitt Smith poster. So I had Emmitt Smith with the jacket on. Anyway, we already kind of discussed Emmitt. Again, I wrote down his numbers. He had an MVP. MVP is a big deal for me, especially for running backs. Over 18,000 yards, 164 TDs. Emmitt Smith. Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars.
Dance with the Stars. Add that on there in the resume.
How I Met Your Mother cameo.
There you go.
Dior, who's 3?
Oh, so number 3 is actually, I forgot to mention it on my Jim Brown pick for number 4, but it's interchangeable, I feel like, with Jim Brown. I think that you could bump Jim Brown up 1 and bump this guy down to 4 if you wanted to, but number 3, I do have him slightly better. I have the legendary Gale Sayers.
Oh, you motherfucker.
5-time Pro Bowler. Oh. This dude is Gale Sayers. I mean, he's old school. Old school. You gotta go back in the archives for that one. But he was a monster. A monster. He was awesome.
Okay. I never thought that would.
What?
That would.
Boy, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
No.
It's like, how do you not have him,
You ain't never watched Brian's song? Oh, come on.
Oh, my God. Brian's song. That's the funny part is that's where I learned about Gale.
That's where I learned about it in school.
Pippin, you know where I'm going with the Brian.
Yeah, I was just about to. Queens conversation.
Yeah, we'll bring that up later. Okay, Dre. Who's your 3? Is it Doug Heffernan?
Okay. So I never can put Jim Brown in my top 5 because Jim Brown's just like a legend in his own right. I can't put him top 5. He's never going to be in my top 5 because he's on a different plateau for me. But my 3 was definitely going to be Gale Sayers, like Dior said, but I'm going to go Earl Campbell for the Houston Oilers.
You know what? Campbell you always come in with these obscure but valid picks, and I'm just like, where did you even get
literally, bro, him and Gale Sayers were some of the smoothest runners I've ever watched in my Earl used to really just glide on that field out there with Warren and them. Oh my God, man, it was beautiful to watch.
I forgot about him. That's a good pick.
Yeah, Earl Campbell was beautiful to watch, man.
Oh, these are some names from the past, and we were talking about earlier. We are just talking about like, okay, how can they make it in today's era, and vice versa? Do you think Sayers and Campbell could make it in today's era?
Bro, they didn't even juke. They weren't even juking, bro. They literally were just gliding across the field, bro. They don't even have to do that.
I one thing that I forgot who it was it Adrian Peterson? I forgot who it was that said that they never ran full speed, like ever. But that's almost how Gale Sayers and Jim Brown will play.
Yeah,
is that they never ran full speed. It was about patience and getting in the hole and like Dre said, gliding, through the field.
You know who else like does that? And like if you ever go back and watch the tapes on him, go watch like Le'Veon Bell. Never runs full
That's what
speed.
it was. That's yes, not Adrian
Glides.
Peterson. Le'Veon Bell said that he never
Bro,
ran
he looks through like I've never seen somebody get the ball, stop, look through the holes, and then go punch through
and
it.
then
Like
go
I've
punch
never
it.
seen nobody
Yeah.
do shit like that
Yeah.
before.
That's what I
That's what
watched. I
Earl
watched an
and Gale
interview where
did.
he said that he never ran full speed.
Never.
And I was like, wow, like that. And then when you look at how Gale Sayers and Jim Brown and guys of that ilk played, they played very similarly. So they probably inspiration.
Yeah. I want to hear Server's 3 though. I want to hear this 3 from him.
My 3, okay. I think anyone could be put on a list. First of all, I don't think anyone's above
he's prefacing it.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
What is it?
I'm putting my number 3 is Jim Brown because he's one of the best ever. There's plenty of arguments to make as being the best ever. I just think that the other 2 people that I have are miles above him.
Better.
When it just clearly better.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jim Brown is clearly better than everyone else I just named. Like my 4 and 5, people want to say, hey, Emmett should be in there. You can put him at 4. Such and such could be here. Put him at 5. But it could change throughout it. It's kind of like someone asks me, who's like the GOAT in rap. You know what I mean? Like,
you could change that up.
You could interchange it all the time. One guy will say Biggie. One day you could say fucking Pac. One guy say Nas. Whatever. You know what I mean? So to me, that's how I look at it when it comes to 4 and 5 NFL running backs. So
I feel like we all have the same 2, though. I feel like we all have the same 1 and 2.
We all do have the same 2.
I think we all have the same
Pittman
1 and 2.
You have to have the same 2.
Pittman's got to have the same 1.
He'll have 1. I don't think he'll have the second one. So we're gonna go with Pittman. Who is?
He didn't even say Jay-Z, so I'm pissed about that. Okay, so my 1 and 2, I guess I could join the interchangeable.
Well, don't
rank.
say 1 and 2. Just say 2.
No. Yeah, I'm saying I guess I could do the interchangeable with my 1 and 2.
Okay.
But I'm going to give 2 to the man of the year, Walter Payton.
There you go.
10 times. Was it 10 times 1,200 yards? That's extremely
amazing.
Impressive. Now my 1 beats it out a little because of something else, but Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Pretty much all I got to say with that. Like the numbers speak for itself.
Is it safe to say that we all have that as 1 and
2?
Yeah.
I guess me going next, Walter Payton. Yeah, I mean, 2-time MVP, endless power, versatility, made him unstoppable. Come on, man. Thank you, babe. Sweetness, man. I tell you,
sweetness.
I tell you, man. Walter Payton has to be number 2. He could be number 1 for some people, but I'm number 1 too.
He could. He has the stats to prove it.
For sure, like 100% sure he has the stats. I'm gonna go Walter Payton at 2 as well. Like, bro, literally he did whatever he wanted. You couldn't touch him. You literally couldn't touch him, and if you touched him, he still had 100 yards plus every game.
And he was a part of the greatest team ever in that year, 85 Bears. They won a Super Bowl.
Those 85 Bears.
That's what he was a big part of the reason that they won a Super Bowl, besides their outstanding greatest defense of all time that year. So, I mean,
they knew I was on the way. See, they won the Super Bowl. Then I was born a couple days later. So
there it is.
Well, correct me now. Now, some of the older guys here, aka Server.
Yeah,
was that the team who did the Super Bowl shuffle?
Yes.
Yes.
I just said I was born the same year, man. I'm old too.
Okay.
Well, you're
when you walk around with the Pringle stash, we don't know how old you are.
That's right. Well, I could be from the 20s.
Exactly.
Yeah. Time travel.
I love it. You have to
I'll give you what for. See,
put him up. See, man,
put him up. I'll hit you in the Davenport. All right. So number 1, obviously, we all right.
Yeah.
Right, Pittman.
Let's just say it at one time. 1, 2, 3.
O.J. Simpson.
It ain't no better.
He just couldn't wait to be king. So he's the Lion King. That's
What the thing that bums me out is he's like one of my all-time favorite players, like across all sports. I love Barry Sanders, and I was really bummed that he retired. Like at such a early stage,
at an early age, early
age. He played a decent amount, but if you look at his numbers, if he would have continued his career like most NFL players. He would have been the number
Dude,
one
The
rusher.
dude is a
his
10-time Pro
average,
Bowler and has 4 rushing titles,
bro.
bro.
He went to the
And
Pro Bowl every year.
Yeah.
every year,
Every
10,
year.
10 years
I
of
can't remember
Emmett.
anybody else doing that besides like Aaron Donald. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I can't.
And
And
he
he's
did
Aaron
this.
Donald.
He did this behind a horrible Detroit
And a
Lions
horrible
offensive line
quarterback too.
and a
Oh,
And
horrible
that is
quarterback.
why, like, when we talk about doing more with less, like, that's why Emmett Smith doesn't even deserve to be mentioned in the same breath as Barry Sanders. Because
yeah.
Emmett Smith had all the help and Barry had none. He was the Lions. Damn it.
Yeah. All right, so we got about 7 minutes left here, and I figured like we got 5 minutes to kind of talk about honorable mentions and things like
Ooh,
that.
I got a
I
few.
got plenty of honorable mentions for
All right,
your
let's
ass.
kind of keep it like a couple good ones here and there, and not have a big long-winded speech about each one.
I'm just gonna go down. I'm
left.
just gonna go down the. I don't have explanations for these. I'm just gonna
None.
go down the list. I have like 7 on this list, and I can keep going honestly. But number 1, you got LaDainian Tomlinson. Number 2, Marshawn Lynch. Number 3, Adrian Peterson. Number 4, my guy Saquon Barkley. Number 5, Shady McCoy. Number 6, I'm giving 3 Eagles back to back. Number 6, Brian Westbrook, and number 7, Jerome Bettis. Those are like, and I can keep going. I can go for a long.
I got a few. I'm gonna go Priest Holmes.
Okay.
Jamal Lewis from the Ravens and Browns. Shawn Alexander from the Seahawks.
Ooh.
Steven Jackson from the Rams. And I'll even take it a step further, man. Maurice Jones-Drew for fucking Jaguars, man.
I love
him.
Yeah.
I fuck with him, bro.
I picked him a few times in fantasy.
Come on,
Me
man.
too.
He was
Me
nasty.
Too. Me too.
Hey,
Pittman, do you have some
you can't forget Todd Gurley, man.
Oh
yeah. But these guys are guys that had like a handful of good seasons, 1 or 2 good seasons. Like I can't remember.
Yeah, Todd didn't play long enough.
Yeah. I mean, Derrick Henry would be there, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look up. I got to look it up. There was a dude that used to play. No, there's a dude that used to play for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the CFL. Now NFL is miles above. I don't even watch the CFL, but back when I was watching sports constantly, I watched everything. I just love the way this guy ran. I can't remember his name now. I can't.
We won't know his
off
name
the top of my
either.
head, but he ran like up straight, super like tall guy, and he just ran like this. I just love to watch him. I wish I could remember his name off the top of my head, but
I'm gonna tell you who the greatest Canadian football player of all time is.
Johnny Manziel.
No, Rocket Ishmael. He played for the
Toronto
Argonauts.
Yeah. My dad would tell me about the Rocket all the time.
I fucked with him so heavy back in the day, bro. That motherfucker was nice.
I remember growing up, and that was all people talk about. Mine would be Anthony Calvillo and Montreal Alouettes.
No. Wouldn't it be Doug Flutie? Wouldn't Doug Flutie be?
Doug Flutie was also very good. But I think Flutie is American, but had success in the CFL.
Well, yeah. He
Calvillo too, I guess. Yeah, but Calvillo broke he had like the most quarterback, like better numbers but it's not NFL numbers. It's CFL. But he had huge numbers. Just Google him. Yeah.
So we got like 4 minutes left. I'm going to ask each of you one player in the current era right now who you think could make a run at being top 5. And we'll start with
bro.
We'll start with
Come
DR.
on, bro.
What are you gonna say, Barkley?
Come on, bro. You already
running
know
back.
my fucking answer.
Yeah, running back.
You already know my answer, man. Honestly, here's my thing. And I'm not saying this as an Eagles fan. I'm saying this as a football fan. If Saquon can have another year like he did last year, and then be even slightly consistent anytime after that, he's going to be top 5 running back of all time. Period. End of story. I mean, if he can run it back and he can, no pun intended, if he can run it back and he can chase that rushing record again, I think that Saquon can definitely. I mean, he was great. He was great in New York with nothing. Now he's great in Philly with something. And if he can keep that going, Saquon Barkley, of course.
All right, Dre.
So I got 2, but like my second one isn't like the. I'll get to it, but Saquon's obviously like my first choice. Like Saquon is probably the greatest Eagles running back of all time, and he only had one season with us.
Yeah.
But the player with like the most upside and like potential to become top five, if he can have consistent seasons and stay healthy, I think Joe Mixon has incredible upside, and he literally can do anything on a football field. Anything.
Do you think it might
Okay.
be a little too? It could be. I mean, it could be a little too. I mean, how long has Joe been in the NFL?
What, maybe 4 or 5 years?
But do you think he could? Okay, he's 4 or 5 years in.
But
Look, we got
most of
we got 2
mo-
minutes left. We don't want to have a big convo about Joe
I'm
Mixon.
sorry.
We can
I'm
save
sorry.
that for
We'll
another
break it down.
episode.
My bad.
All right.
Yo. My
Pittman,
bad.
real quick.
It's a debate. It's a debate.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba
I'm
Hubbard. There you
Canadian
go.
Carolina. I'm just kidding. I
Chuba
think
Hubbard,
I think
okay.
I think it's too far into Derrick Henry's career to pick him right now. On that backwards jump alone from last season, I'm going to go Saquon as well.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley. Yeah.
That's who I'm going with. I also want to. I'd be remiss. I'd be remiss. There we go.
I'd be reminisce.
I'd be reminiscent. If I didn't mention my boy Terrell Davis, who also had a short season, who was a great running back for my Denver Broncos. I think that if he would have stuck around, I think he would have been in the conversation to be at least top 10, possibly 5. But Terrell Davis, yeah. But I agree with the Barkley. Thank you guys for being here like always, especially Shawn Pittman. You can watch him not just with me on the Conversation, but also on Shawnee P Snack Scrutiny on the View Count channel, and also on do you still ever use your old YouTube channel, which would be great if you did, because there's a lot of old stuff on there of you, which is
yeah, my
funny.
Shawnee P Snack Scrutiny is my own YouTube channel. You can also check out Shrink Scrutiny. This is my weight loss journey, 50 pounds official. And
nice work.
my other one is Shawnee P TV. It's got a lot of old school stuff on there. Yeah,
I love that.
Maybe some stuff will get me canceled. I don't know, but
I don't know, maybe, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. Anyways, you guys check us out. Look at the podcast on Twitter and Instagram, Server Error 405 on TikTok, and we'll have all the links to everybody's stuff below. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.